Okay. Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, Ms. Roth. I enjoyed our discussion in the car as I was driving around Minnesota last week, and I've especially enjoyed your very well-behaved kids. I note that your son asserting his independence with reading the book the entire time was some memory of my own daughter at that age, except she would sit in the front row, I'd be giving a speech, and she would read the book like this. So you have accomplished much that is not happening. So I did enjoy working with you. I know worked with our staff on not just the Low Power Protection Act, but also Brand USA with Senator Blunt, the Sturdy Act, as well as all the work that we did on travel and tourism. So thank you for that. I wanted to follow up on some of the questions on the broadband bill. I never really liked that BEAD name, but I just call it the broadband bill. And I know that my state and many others have invested a lot of energy and capital in complying with the current rules, as they should do, and that we do not want to start from scratch. We don't want to delay this anymore, and we just are worried that anything that would make it more disruptive would be problematic. And if confirmed, how will you ensure that states, including Minnesota, can proceed with their broadband plans as expeditiously as possible?
Thank you, Senator. I realized there was one other bill we worked on together, Virginia Graham Baker.
Oh, that was a big deal on the swimming pools.
Yeah.
It actually saved a lot of lives, yes. That was a big deal. Thank you.
No, thank you, Senator. If I'm honored to be confirmed, my primary objective would be to get broadband build out to every last American as expeditiously as possible. I think that it's been more than 3 years since the IIJ was passed. I think there's frustration that we haven't made significant progress in getting shovels in the ground. We don't have a single location connected yet. I want to solve that, and I want to get broadband to everyone in America and every single one of your constituents.
Okay, very good. I understand the desire to strip out any needless requirements from the programs, but we must not, in the words of one of the people in the last administration dealing with this, strip away from states the flexibility to get the best connections for their people. If confirmed, would you implement a spending cap on the program? And if so, at what threshold would you set it?
Thank you, Senator. I agree that we should be stripping out red tape and bureaucracy of the program to get the program on track and expedited. In terms of a spending cap, if I would want to speak with NTIA's distinguished career staff to know what, if any, authority NTIA has. I don't have any. I would want to confer with NTIA's distinguished career staff.
Okay. Universal Service Fund, we talked about this on the phone, care a lot about this. Senator Thune and I have done some work on this together. Supreme Court just had their arguments on this. I won't ask you to predict what happened, but it appears there was some concern about throwing out the fund. As we discussed, we have to continue to ensure that we maximize federal resources dedicated to expanding broadband access. I've been working across the aisle to strengthen funding mechanisms for USF, which allows for providers to connect the most hard-to-reach areas to high-speed internet. If confirmed, would you work with me and others on the committee to expand the funding base for universal service?
Thank you, Senator. NTIA doesn't administer the USF. That's the domain of the FCC. Of course, there's a lot of overlap between broadband programs, and I look forward to working with the FCC on the goal of delivering broadband to all Americans and coordinating our efforts. And I would be happy to work with you on any efforts regarding in that domain.
Okay. Last, I know there's been Chairman asked you about the Spectrum funds. I chair the 911 caucus, am a co-chair of it, and I've led legislation with Senator Cortez Masto to modernize America's 911 system for obvious reasons. People are no longer just dialing in from landlines, and they want to send photos of People want to get firefighters get pictures of burning buildings on their phones so they can be safer in the specs and which part they enter in a building. Do you believe Congress should leverage spectrum auctions to help modernize our 911 infrastructure?
Thank you, Senator. As a parent who's had to dial 911 before, and God forbid everything was okay and I only had to do it once, I know how important it is to have properly working 911 infrastructure. I know there's challenges in rural areas. I'd be happy to work with you. Ultimately, Congress decides where spectrum auction proceeds go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cantwell.
Senator Baldwin.